Hello, my name is Ellie Johnson. I'm the Outreach Forester for Michigan Forest Association, and this is a Neighbor Network, a short history. This is the first of 5 videos that are part of the Neighbor Network training series that will all be posted to Michigan Forest Association's YouTube channel. Who is the Michigan Forest Association? The mission of our nonprofit is to inspire and empower people to sustainably manage, conserve, and enjoy forests through education, advocacy, and fellowship. So thank you for being here. This is meeting that education piece, right? And what is the Neighbor Network? So this is what this whole video is about. But the main idea behind this is that we are trying to connect private landowners with other private landowners to help each other complete forest management projects, especially focusing on tree plantings and reforestation efforts. So the Neighbor Network started in 2024. So previously to this position with MFA, I was a district forester for the Lima, Grand Traverse, and Benzie conservation districts. So this is a program that started with the Benzie Conservation District. Benzie, like a lot of other districts, they do seedling sales. They get bare root seedlings in bulk from large scale nurseries around the state, package them up into bundles of 5, 10, 25, 50, and sell them to their local community. So in tandem with this, or at least like scaffolding off of this, in working for all 3 of those districts for the previous few years before 2024, I was regularly handing large bundles of trees to folks, and they'd make the joke of, hey, if you want to help me later, feel free to stop by and plant these trees with me. And then I'd be handing a small bundle of like 10 trees to somebody, and they'd go, by the way, I love planting trees, so if anyone needs help, feel free to give me a call. So then I'm in this in-between spot of like, who are you people? You all need to connect. So it was this overall willingness to serve and volunteer across all 3 communities. But I brought this idea to the Benzie Conservation District because Benzie is one of the smallest counties in the state of Michigan, population-wise. And so I thought if this kind of idea of based on altruism and helping your fellow neighbor, if it was going to work anywhere, it'd probably work in a close-knit community like Benzie. So them as a district, they do spring and fall seedling sales. So across 2024 and 2025, both springs, both falls, so 4 seedling sale and tree planting seasons, we've been doing these in-person events talking about exactly what we're talking about in here: tree planting strategies, setting up your tree planting, actually physically getting them in the ground, protecting them from deer, whatever. And across those events, we've accumulated over 40 neighbors. And between those 4 tree planting seasons, we've gotten over 2,600 seedlings in the ground. And so how this, again, this video series is an attempt to replace or to complement the in-person events that we've been doing, because now there's different neighbor networks being established in other parts of the state. So gathering people who may not have met before in the same room to talk about the same, share the same knowledge. They get to network with each other, and then in turn, they have been helping each other complete their different projects. So Mark and George here, they didn't meet before going to one of our educational workshops at the Mills Community House. And Mark came out and helped George and his family get 100 seedlings into their exposed hillside. They had some like storm damage that they were trying to replant at their property in north of Crystal Lake. Our largest tree planting to date, not that it's any type of competition, but this was a windbreak project for a farm also north of Crystal Lake there in Benzie County. It was 1,200 seedlings. There's 20-some volunteers there. A mix of conifer species, different red, white pines, I think a couple other things mixed in to, again, provide a barrier between that roadway right there and the open farm field. Sometimes the plantings have been focused on helping someone complete Natural Resource Conservation Service contracts, uh, which anyone who has gone through those, like you're making a deal with the government, right? There's very strict stipulations on how you're supposed to complete a project. And something ultimately we're getting trees into the ground, sure, but we're also connecting people to each other and allowing further learning and education from others' experiences. So there have been a couple projects that have been completed for meeting the needs of one individual's NRCS contract. And it's been very cool to see other neighbors come to that person's aid who have done similar projects and bring their expertise and advice to that space. And of course, we're just the connection. We all just need a lot more connection, right? And fostering community in general, regardless of the education value of that and learning from experience of others, is really powerful. And so the neighbor hosting this tree planting, his name's Tim. He and his wife have been planting a lot of seedlings over the last few years, hundreds of seedlings. And in him joining the neighbor network, he's been one of those valuable, like bringing his knowledge to everyone else. But then when people stop and help him, they're also learning how to do the thing on site. And so Drew, Kevin, and Mark here, again, none of these four men knew each other before coming to neighbor network things, and they're showing up at their neighbors and helping them get 300 different hardwood seedlings in the ground. So it's an upcoming program, right? The lessons we've learned so far, and throughout this whole video series, it's full of lessons, right? But so just like a quick snapshot, if you're someone that's going to host people, you're a neighbor looking for assistance with a tree planting, make sure that tree planting is laid out before the others are there, right? Or if that's a piece that you need help with, connect with a neighbor that's coming about, like if it is one of those NRCS contracts, or if you're going for something specific. Tim, in that last example, he used different colored flags matched to different species. So as folks were going, they knew right away that like black cherry was with the pink flags and tulip trees with purple or whatever it was, right? So some type of pattern or system for everyone to be able to, for you to easily convey and for others to easily follow is super helpful. To have help your neighbors out, be comfortable as they're helping you out through this project, right? So snacks and water on site are always nice. Somewhere to sit, somewhere under some shade, also always good considerations. And make sure to share about the access and what parking might look like for a space, because a neighbor may want to help somebody else, but if it's down some type of two-track that their car cannot get into, that may be something they need to know before they're physically on site. And the neighbor is planning on helping other people. It's not the worst idea to have your own tools. No one person generally has like 10 spade shovels lying around. So if you can bring your own shovel and work gloves for yourself, make sure you've got water and like clothes to be comfortable, right? Like we're digging holes and we're putting trees in the ground. So whatever will help you feel your best to do that physical activity is the best case scenario. And most importantly, why are we planting trees? Trees obviously offer us a lot of different benefits. We're creating habitat for numerous organisms. We're improving our overall watershed health and filtering water, reducing erosion, making us happier and healthier. There are way more reasons to be planting trees than I've even got listed here. Thank you. This is an introductory video. This is the first of 5. So see you in the next one.